It was a beautiful fall day in Harrisville, Rhode Island, when I pulled up to the farmhouse. You've probably seen in the movie the sagging roofline, the crooked porch, the long gravel driveway flanked by brittle trees. In person, it was smaller, older. The air around it was off. Still, like the land itself was holding its breath. The caretaker was a quiet older woman who didn't smile much. She handed me a single brass key and said, "Don't go down to the basement after dark." I thought she was playing it up for the brand. I wish she had been. That night, I set up my gear. Static cams in each room, one GoPro for myself, EMF reader by the stairwell. I cooked ramen on a portable stove, edited a few clips, and went to bed around midnight in the upstairs bedroom. Cold drafts kept sneaking under the door, despite the windows being shut. At 3:07 a.m., I woke up to knocking. 3 slow knocks on the bedroom door. I froze. "Hello." I called out, then cursed myself. I was alone. The EMF reader in the hallway went off. Rapid beeping, then silence. I turned on the camera, opened the door. The hallway was empty, but the smell hit me. A rotting, earthy stench, like old leaves mixed with sulfur. When I reviewed the footage the next morning, I caught something chilling. Right before the knocks, the hallway camera glitched. Just for a second, a black flash. When I zoomed in frame by frame, there was a figure. Tall, shadowy, standing behind my door. I deleted the clip that night. I don't know why. Maybe part of me didn't want it to be real. Stop 2. The Amityville house dreams that aren't yours. If the Conjuring house unsettled me, Amityville scared me on a level I still don't fully understand. I wasn't allowed inside the original house, no one is anymore, but I rented an Airbnb down the street just for the atmosphere. A woman at the deli nearby recognized me and told me, "Don't point your camera too long at that house. People say it looks back." That night, I dreamed a murder, not in a symbolic way. I saw a man walking room to room with a rifle. I saw the people in bed. I could feel the trigger, the kickback, the heat of blood, the sickening silence. When I woke up, I felt hungover. I checked the time, 3:15 a.m. I thought, isn't that when it happened in real life? I grabbed my phone and saw something that made my stomach drop. A 45-second video was recorded on my phone while I was asleep. It was grainy, unfocused, like it had been shot from a low angle. But at the end, there was a whisper. "It's not a dream if it remembers you." The phone wouldn't let me delete it. Stop 3. The Lizzie Borden house. Footsteps in the attic, axe in the dark. Fall River was colder than I expected. A sharp, unforgiving chill that slipped past my hoodie and wrapped around my ribs. I got to the Lizzie Borden house a little before sunset. It was almost too clean, too preserved, like time had given up trying to move forward in there. I checked in with the front desk, a bored-looking college girl who asked if I was one of those ghost hunters. I told her I was documenting haunted locations for a personal project. She just shrugged and handed me the keys. "Don't sleep in the attic," she said. "Not unless you want her to visit." Her words felt rehearsed, but the way she avoided eye contact that felt real. I ignored her and took the attic room anyway. I wanted the best footage. I set up a camera facing the bed, another one toward the narrow attic door that opened to the staircase. The wood creaked under every step, and the walls smelled like old fabric and furniture polish. Around 2 a.m., I heard something that made me sit up in bed. The sound of someone walking above me. Footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. But I was in the attic. There was no above me. I grabbed my flashlight and quietly opened the door. Nothing. The footsteps had stopped. The hallway was empty. When I turned around to head back into the attic, the door creaked slowly shut on its own. I froze. Then I noticed something on the inside panel of the attic door. 3 scratch marks, deep and deliberate, carved in a pattern that almost looked ritualistic. I filmed it. I thought maybe it was just old damage. But my viewers later pointed out something I hadn't noticed at the time. In the footage, the camera facing the bed caught the door opening by itself at 2:04 a.m. and then closing. But I hadn't touched it. Later that night, I woke to a strong metallic smell. Iron. Blood. It filled my nose like a punch. I staggered out of bed and caught my reflection in the attic mirror. My shirt was soaked in sweat, but smeared across my collarbone was something else, something red. Something I hadn't put there. A handprint. Smaller than mine. Too small. A woman's. Maybe even a child's. I left before sunrise. Stop 4. The Stanley Hotel. She knew my name. Estes Park was beautiful in the way horror shouldn't be. Snow-topped peaks, golden light slanting through aspen trees. The Stanley Hotel felt like a postcard brought to life until you stepped inside. The air changed. Heavy, older than the building itself. The staff were polite, but distant. Like everyone working there had seen something they didn't want to talk about. I requested room 217, famously haunted, they said. A former maid injured in a gas explosion was rumored to still wander the halls. That night, I set up a single static camera in the room and recorded ambient audio on my laptop while I slept. I didn't review the footage until days later, but I felt the difference immediately. That night, I dreamed of a little girl. She stood in the hallway just outside my door. She didn't speak, just stared at me wide-eyed. When I asked her name, she only whispered, "It's not my name that matters. It's yours." I jolted awake, drenched in sweat. The room was freezing, but that wasn't the part that scared me. The part that scared me was what I found on my laptop the next morning. The audio file had recorded a voice humming at 3:13 a.m. It wasn't me. I played it back over and over. The tune was off-key, almost childlike. Then a voice, soft, slow, and unbearably close to the mic, whispered, "He doesn't know we're already inside." The voice was female, calm, almost happy. The hallway camera showed something passing by the door at that exact time, a shadow that didn't line up with the hotel's lights. I asked the front desk if someone had walked past then. They reviewed the security footage and told me. Nobody was on your floor. No staff. No guests. We're sure. That afternoon, as I was packing, I caught a glimpse of something in the hallway mirror. I turned to look, but there was no one there. But I swear she was smiling, and she whispered my name. The realization, it was never the place. It was me. When I got home, I told myself it was over. The road trip had drained me emotionally, physically, creatively. I figured a week of sleep and Netflix would clear my head. I dumped my SD cards on a hard drive and forgot about them. I didn't edit anything. I didn't even look at the footage. But strange things started happening almost immediately. The first was a voice message on my phone. No caller ID, no number, just static, then whispering. I couldn't make out the words. At least, not at first. Later that night, I played it back again. I closed my eyes and listened, and slowly, like someone tuning an old radio, it became clear. We never left. Then my camera turned on. By itself. I hadn't touched it. It wasn't even plugged in. The red light blinked to life. It was aimed directly at my bed. I turned it off, pulled the battery, unplugged the mic. Still, the next morning, I found a new clip on the memory card. Timestamp 3:07 a.m. It showed me, sleeping, and something else, something standing in the corner of the room, barely visible in the dark. Tall, still, watching. It had no face, but its shadow stretched all the way across the wall and stopped just shy of touching me. I finally uploaded a teaser video, a short montage of the trip, just to keep my channel alive. It was mostly aesthetic shots, me driving the outside of the Conjuring house, an aerial of the Stanley Hotel. But then the comments started coming in. At 2:19, "Who's that behind you in the mirror?" "Dude, there's a face in your back window" at 4:03. "Anyone else hear the whisper?" at 1:44. It says something like, "He brought it with him." I thought they were trolling, until I checked, and they were right. Every single video, everyone had a glimpse of the same thing. The same dark silhouette, barely perceptible. In reflections, in windows. Once I caught it staring through the gap in a slightly open closet door. Then came the worst one. Someone messaged me on Instagram with a screenshot from the Lizzie Borden episode. It showed me asleep in the attic. And next to me, something crouched low by the bed, facing the camera. No eyes, no mouth. But the caption said, "It's copying you." I stopped filming after that. I shut everything down. But last week, a video went live on my channel. I didn't upload it. Title, Home, the final episode. Runtime, 17 minutes, 6 seconds. I didn't recognize the thumbnail, just a still frame of my hallway at night. The first half of the video was old footage from the trip. chopped together in a weird, chaotic sequence. No music, just ambient room noise. But then it cut to something I never recorded. Me, sitting on my bed, crying, whispering something over and over. The audio was warped, reversed, like it had been edited in a hurry or by someone who didn't quite understand how editing worked. At the 15-minute mark, the camera zoomed in again, something I never did. I've never edited that way. Then it cut to a shot of my apartment door. From outside, you could hear footsteps getting closer. Slow, heavy. At 16:06, a whisper. We're all home now. Then black. The last frame before it ends is a single image. A still of my bedroom, taken from the corner ceiling like a security cam. And in the shot there are two people. Me, and something standing behind me. I don't know how that video got online. I've deleted it 4 times. It keeps reappearing. Sometimes with a new title. Sometimes with a different thumbnail. But always the same message in the description. You invited it. I don't sleep anymore. I see shadows move on their own. My reflection doesn't always match my movements. One night I saw it smile, and it wasn't my face smiling. A few days ago, I noticed something else. Something worse. My channel has been gaining subscribers. Fast. Too fast. I haven't posted anything in weeks. But new videos keep going up. Videos I never made. People are loving them. They keep asking me how I'm doing it. Best editing I've ever seen. Creepiest found footage vibes. Real horror is back. I don't reply. Because those videos, they're not mine. They show places I've never visited. Rooms I've never been in. And in every single one, somewhere in the background, barely visible, is a shadow. Watching, waiting, and slowly moving closer. If you're watching this, close the tab. Right now. Because if you see it, it sees you too.